It's a Tuesday in Mississippi. We welcome now Stephen McCraney, Executive Director of the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency. So thanks for coming in, Stephen.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You guys have been pretty dang busy, a lot busier than normal for June. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, it's like almost like training camp. It's June this year has been an oddity, which we normally would see in a February, March time frame. These types of activity and tornadoes as the seasons get ready to shift, and we're also looking at possible, a hurricane, Brett, out there, tropical storm out there in the
saw that
coming our way, but we're hopeful that the wind shear on it is going to slow it down and give it another place to go. So we are ready.
What are the good folks at MEMA doing right now in the wake of the storms that have impacted several areas of the state? The most recent we were talking about last night, overnight, down the coast, Moss Point, Jackson County area. Significant damage to a small area, but big-time damage.
It is, and it just takes one tornado to get on the ground. The one over in we look at. You asked me, what are we doing? You know, of course, we're still working Rolling Fork and Amory and those storms. We have a joint field office with FEMA here in the state, so we certainly have our public assistance folks and individual assistance folks out there. We're trying to get mobile home units into those areas to get those folks' lives back to where they can be functional. And then when we look at what happened yesterday, yesterday and night before, this all runs together. So it's looking at Jasper County, as we had a tornadic event go through there. Lewin, the metropolis of it, and a little bit north of it, just pretty much decimated. Little hills and hollows, but I tell you what, that one was a 3 that went through there. They're looking at 145 to 155 mile an hour winds that came through there, and just it doesn't matter if you were in a brick house. It doesn't matter if your house was wood. It put it on the ground and put it in rubble. And so one fatality there. But 72 homes right now is what we looked at yesterday. We're trying to refine that number in Jasper County today. We had 18 people in the hospital, and we're trying to get everything together to see if we can meet a declaration for the state of Mississippi. It takes about $5.2 million worth of damage for us to get a declaration. And then you had Edwards, I think Hinds County down in Utica called me about an EF1 yesterday that was happened a couple of days ago, just got confirmed as an EF1. So we're currently rolling up all those damages. And then down on the coast, late last evening, very, very tense situation, but we have some folks from MEMA that are down there assisting with damage assessments this morning because it happened during the night. We started rolling about 8:30. Also getting McDEMA, the local emergency managers association, they're getting some damage assessment crews out there to assist Jackson County. So we want to get a good picture of what's going on. Estimating 100 homes, and businesses and whatnot that possibly could have been impacted out of that storm.
Now, your organization doesn't have direct responsibility for the power. That's the responsibility of the power providers. That's power companies.
That's correct.
Do you coordinate with them?
Absolutely. We have 16 emergency support functions which sit in MEMA when we activate that State Emergency Operations Center, and one of those is utilities, whether it's water, things of that nature. And so absolutely some great coordination with all the EPAs in the state. We know them by name. And we have district area coordinators that are out within those districts, and they, of course, are as well as on the ground. But we are coordinating with them. And at the height of this, if you go back to the 12th, June the 12th through the 17th, every day a storm, every night a storm. You get a break at some certain time. And those damages have been rolling up. We were up to 170, 190,000, and then it rolled back down to 110, come back up, come back down. So we're right at about 20,000 right now. Okay. And some folks have been without damages, without electricity for about 5-6 days.
Wow.
And if they're on SNAP benefits, because 6-7 hours without power, you start losing food and other things. All they have to do is call that 1-800 number. It's 800-948-3050, and they can actually get some benefits loaded back on that card. That was turned on just about 2 days ago.
Gotcha. All right, tell us about the new MEMA app.
Yeah, we've got a new app out there that gives you some features that lets you know who your local emergency management director is at the county level. You can also go in there for tips for how do you get prepared. And I think Central Mississippi and Northern Mississippi, this is kind of I'm not going to say a new thing, but you got to prepare for these tornadic and high winds that have come through, almost like you do for a hurricane.
Yeah.
And of course, our coastal counties, we practice that every year. We put a lot of emphasis on that. But I think that's a good thing to look at statewide. My mom would tell me in the winter, now load your coat up. Well, I don't need it. I'm just going to school. Well, when the car has a flat, you got to get out and work on it, and gloves. And so
good point.
It just be prepared to take care of yourself for a short period of time. And then the state and the federal assets, if we qualify, we'll be able to mobilize that and get that into the area.
So I'm looking at the screenshots of the app presently, and looks very comprehensive, easy to use. You can set it up to send notifications in the event of either a watch or a warning, or both, for a tornado,
right,
storms, floods, hurricanes, tropical storm, freeze, winter storm. That's pretty cool.
We thought it was pretty cool to let the person decide what they wanted to get alerts for. Of course, we're during a pop-up storm. We want everybody to be warned,
sure,
and it's the outside tornado sirens are for people that are outside. So you gotta have a way to be connected. You lose power, that phone should hopefully have some charge on it, and we'll be able to keep you updated. And we're going to enhance this. I think it's a great opportunity. As my mom says, I got to circle around where you live, and I got to circle around where I live, so she can keep up with what's happening to me. And you can call somebody. I remember during the storms night before in Jasper County, I was watching it go through Rankin County, so giving the alerts, and my wife was calling every other person she knew in Pelahatchie and Puckett and whatnot. So, well, I'm watching a movie on my phone. Well, you need to be watching something else that's coming towards you.
Yeah.
So it just gives you an opportunity to take care of your friends.
Yeah,
just to let them know as well.
I like it. I'm going to download it. I'm glad to learn about it, and more people need to know. That's why we got you on today to talk about that. But it looks to be very useful.
Well, it's brand new. We tested it for a while. It's been out there for a few months, and we continue to make this thing better. We want to put some weather radar and some other things. It's like buying a car and then adding an accessory to it. But we want to stay with the base of what MEMA does, and that is we prepare, we respond, and then we recover from these types of events. And we want to continue with that role and be good at it. And I think it's just a good tool. Yeah,
and convenient links to all the various appropriate websites.
Absolutely.
Which is a really good feature as well.
Right.
So, how many folks you got working at MEMA now these days, Steve?
We're about authorized about 182 in between leaving and coming back, and we average about 170. We're busy.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I have some folks on the coast because we have repetitive hurricanes every year. We're working events and public assistance, trying to reinvest bridges, sewer, you name it. If it gets damaged, we're down there working on that every day. So got the Emergency Operations Logistical Center there in Byram. We were able to acquire that facility during COVID, and we've got all kind of supplies in there where we're able to mobilize that when needed, especially for COVID. As we still, it lingers. It's not gone, but the period of performance for that has expired. So now we're on the backside. But and then right there in Pearl, that's the main office, and then I have people scattered throughout the state that cover districts. So we have somebody out there that can fly a drone. That program has taken off. We didn't realize how. I've got I think 19 pilots now. So,
wow.
So if somebody's lost, you get a silver alert, things like that. We're able to fly with infrared. We've found people on creeks and rivers that missed a turn and didn't get picked up, and we're able to help locate them. But we augment Department of Wildlife, Department of Public Safety, the locals. I tell everybody we don't have a weekend off. We just be out there ready to serve and ready to assist when we can.
Technology totally changed it, hasn't it?
It has. You know, you go back to the days when I was originally doing that type of search and rescue and whatnot. It was over land. You filled up a backpack full of water and you kind of walked everybody online, and now you can cover some distance in certain times of the day using infrared and other technology. I mean, you can really hone in.
It's incredible.
On some folks that might need assistance.
Appreciate you coming in. The MEMA app, folks, available for both iPhone, iPad, and Android devices. I'm looking at it. It looks really cool. I'm going to download it. I recommend you do as well. Stephen McCraney, Executive Director of the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, has been our guest. Thanks for coming on, Stephen.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep. We're coming right back with more in the Element Wealth Studios.